Have you ever felt like you're carrying an invisible weight? As if some unseen force is keeping you from moving forward, from growing into the person you know you're meant to be? If so, you're not alone. We all experience this at some point in life. The truth is, many of us are held back by habits, mindsets, and relationships that no longer serve us. These things quietly anchor us in place, making it harder to reach our full potential. But the good news is, you have the power to let them go. In the timeless philosophy of Stoicism, the great thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus offered us a roadmap for living a life of clarity, purpose, and freedom. They taught that true mastery isn't about controlling the external world, it's about mastering yourself. It's about identifying what weighs you down and having the courage to release it. This wisdom, though ancient, remains profoundly relevant in our modern world. As we stand on the cusp of 2025, it's the perfect time to reflect, reset, and remove what's no longer aligned with the life you envision. In this video, we'll explore 15 specific things that may be holding you back, things you might not even realize are hindering your growth. From toxic relationships to the constant need for external validation, from the weight of grudges to the trap of perfectionism, we'll dive deep into the subtle barriers that Stoicism encourages us to remove. Each of these things, once eliminated, can unlock a profound sense of freedom and empowerment. So as we journey together through these 15 ideas, take a moment to reflect on your own life. Ask yourself, what am I holding on to that I no longer need? What am I ready to let go of, silently and intentionally, to step into the next year with clarity and purpose? Let's begin this transformative process, because 2025 isn't just another year, it's an opportunity to become the person you've always wanted to be. Welcome to Stoic Mastery, your guide to living with wisdom, strength, and resilience. Lesson 1: The fear of failure. Failure. It's a word that often carries a heavy weight, conjuring images of disappointment, embarrassment, and regret. For many of us, the fear of failure is a powerful force that keeps us from trying new things, taking risks, or stepping out of our comfort zones. But what if I told you that failure isn't something to fear at all? What if, instead, it's a vital stepping stone to growth and success? Stoicism, the ancient philosophy that has guided people for centuries, offers a refreshing perspective on failure. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, reminds us in his Meditations, "What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, the obstacles we encounter, failure included, are not barriers but opportunities to learn and grow. Fear of failure often stems from two sources: societal pressure and self-doubt. We worry about what others will think if we fail. Will they judge us? Will they see us as less capable? At the same time, we doubt our own abilities, questioning whether we're truly capable of succeeding. This combination of external and internal pressure creates a mental prison that can keep us from living fully. But here's the truth. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of the process. Every failure carries a lesson, and every lesson brings us closer to mastery. Epictetus, another great Stoic thinker, taught that we should focus only on what we can control: our actions, our effort, and our mindset. The outcome, that's beyond our control, and that's okay. So, how do we overcome the fear of failure? Here are 3 Stoic-inspired steps. 1. Redefine failure. Instead of seeing failure as a personal flaw, view it as a learning opportunity. Each setback teaches you something valuable. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? 2. Detach from outcomes. As Stoics emphasize, focus on the effort, not the result. You can't control every outcome, but you can control how much effort and dedication you put into something. This shift in mindset reduces anxiety about failing. 3. Take action. Despite fear. Fear of failure often grows when we avoid taking action. The Stoics remind us that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's acting despite it. Start small, take one step, and build momentum. The Stoic perspective teaches us to embrace failure as a necessary and even valuable part of life. Every great achievement, every personal breakthrough, and every success story involves moments of failure. What separates those who grow from those who stay stagnant is not the absence of failure, but the ability to learn from it and move forward. Ask yourself, what would you do if you weren't afraid of failing? What dreams would you chase? What risks would you take? In 2025, let's stop letting the fear of failure hold us back. Let's use it as fuel to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Failure is a teacher, not an enemy. Embrace it, learn from it, and watch how your life transforms. This is your first step to mastering Stoic wisdom and mastering yourself. Lesson 2. Holding grudges. Holding on to a grudge is like carrying a heavy rock in your pocket. At first, it might seem manageable, even justified, but over time, the weight of that rock slows you down, drains your energy, and prevents you from moving forward. The question is, why do we hold on to grudges, and how can we free ourselves from their grip? In Stoicism, one of the key teachings is to focus only on what you can control. Marcus Aurelius wisely wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." A grudge at its core is an attempt to control something outside of yourself, another person's actions, their apology, or lack thereof, or the past itself. Yet none of these are within your control. What is within your control is your response and your ability to let go. Grudges often stem from feelings of injustice, betrayal, or harm caused by someone else. When we hold a grudge, we feel as though we're preserving our sense of dignity or justice. But the truth is, grudges rarely harm the person they're directed at. Instead, they harm us, robbing us of peace, clarity, and the ability to live fully in the present moment. The Stoics teach us that forgiveness isn't about excusing someone else's behavior. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional chains of resentment. As Epictetus advised, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When you hold a grudge, you give the offender continued power over your thoughts and emotions. Letting go is a way to reclaim that power. Steps to release a grudge. 1. Recognize the weight of the grudge. Ask yourself, is this grudge serving me or is it weighing me down? Often, you'll find that it's the latter. Becoming aware of the emotional and mental energy a grudge consumes is the first step toward release. 2. Shift your perspective. Remember that people act according to their own values, experiences, and limitations. While their actions may have been hurtful, their behavior is a reflection of them, not you. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they cannot tell good from evil. This doesn't mean excusing bad behavior, but understanding it without personalizing it. 3. Practice forgiveness as self-care. Forgiveness doesn't require reconciliation. It's an internal act of letting go for your own peace of mind. Write down your feelings, meditate on the situation, or journal about why you're ready to release the grudge. 4. Focus on the present. Grudges tie you to the past. Shift your attention to what's happening now and what you can control. Mindfulness and gratitude practices are powerful tools for staying present and appreciating the here and now. Letting go of a grudge isn't about the other person. It's about you. It's about choosing peace over resentment, freedom over anger. It's about taking back control of your thoughts and emotions so you can live a lighter, more fulfilled life. As you prepare for 2025, ask yourself, what grudges am I still carrying? And how would my life change if I let them go? The answer may surprise you. This year, make room for growth and serenity by leaving resentment behind. Remember, true strength lies in mastering your inner world. Lesson 3. Negative self-talk. The voice inside your head, what does it sound like? Is it encouraging and kind, or is it critical and harsh? For many of us, negative self-talk becomes an invisible barrier to growth, eroding our confidence and holding us back from achieving our full potential. But what if I told you that this voice is something you can change? Stoicism teaches us that our thoughts shape our reality. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If your inner dialogue is filled with negativity, doubt, and self-criticism, it's no wonder you feel stuck or unworthy. But you are not your thoughts. You are the master of them. The key is learning to recognize negative self-talk, challenge it, and replace it with constructive, empowering thoughts. Negative self-talk often stems from past experiences, societal expectations, or fear of failure. It may sound like, I'm not good enough. I'll never succeed on, why even try? I'll just fail again. These phrases, while seemingly small, can build up over time, creating a mindset of limitation and fear. The Stoics remind us that such thoughts are simply impressions. They're not facts. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The same principle applies to your inner dialogue. You don't have to believe everything your mind tells you. Steps to overcome negative self-talk. 1. Awareness is key. The first step to changing your inner dialogue is recognizing it. Pay attention to your thoughts, especially in moments of stress or challenge. When you notice negativity creeping in, pause and take a deep breath. 2. Challenge the narrative. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Is there evidence to support it? Often, negative self-talk is exaggerated or based on unfounded fears. Counter it with facts. For example, if you think, I always fail, remind yourself of times when you succeeded, even in small ways. 3. Reframe your thoughts. Replace critical thoughts with constructive ones. Instead of saying, I'm not good at this, try, I'm learning, and I'll improve with practice. Shifting your perspective can transform how you approach challenges. 4. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself as you would a close friend. Would you speak to a loved one with the same harshness you direct at yourself? Probably not. Offer yourself the same kindness and understanding. 5. Anchor yourself in Stoic wisdom. The Stoics believed in focusing on what you can control. You may not control every situation, but you can control how you respond to it and how you speak to yourself about it. Scene transition. A visual of a person journaling with a peaceful expression, the words, I am capable, written at the top of the page. Your mind is a powerful tool, but like any tool, it must be used wisely. Negative self-talk can feel automatic, but it's not permanent. With practice, you can rewrite the script, transforming your inner voice into one of encouragement and strength. As you move into 2025, take control of your inner dialogue, challenge the negativity, replace it with kindness, and watch how your life transforms. Because when you change your thoughts, you change your reality. This is how we master ourselves and our lives through Stoic wisdom. Lesson 4. Comparing yourself to others. In today's world, it's easier than ever to compare ourselves to others. With a few swipes, we're exposed to the highlights of other people's lives, their successes, travels, and celebrations. But while comparison may seem inevitable, it often leaves us feeling inadequate, jealous, or stuck. The Stoics understood this struggle, even in their time, and offered wisdom to help us overcome it. One of the core principles of Stoicism is focusing on what you can control. Comparing yourself to others pulls you away from this principle. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't waste the rest of your life thinking about other people unless it is for the common good. It will keep you from doing anything useful." When you compare yourself to others, you shift your focus outward, away from your own progress and potential. It's like trying to run a race while constantly looking at the person in the next lane. You'll lose both your pace and your sense of direction. The problem with comparison is that it's rarely fair or accurate. Social media, for example, showcases curated moments of other people's lives, their highlights, not their struggles. When we compare our reality to someone else's best moments, we're bound to feel inadequate. But the truth is, everyone faces challenges and setbacks, even if they're not visible to us. Stoicism teaches us to evaluate ourselves based on our own values, goals, and progress, rather than external benchmarks. Epictetus said, "Never value anything as profitable to yourself, which shall compel you to break your promise, to lose your self-respect, or to hate any man." In other words, what truly matters is staying true to your own path and principles. Steps to overcome the trap of comparison. 1. Focus on your own progress. Ask yourself, am I better than I was yesterday? Your growth is the only comparison that matters. Celebrate small wins and milestones that bring you closer to your goals. 2. Practice gratitude. Comparison often blinds us to the blessings in our own lives. Take time each day to reflect on what you're grateful for. This shift in perspective can transform feelings of envy into contentment. 3. Limit exposure to triggers. If social media or certain environments fuel your tendency to compare, consider setting boundaries. Unfollow accounts that make you feel less than, and spend time in spaces that inspire and uplift you. 4. Remember the bigger picture. Life isn't a competition. Each of us is on a unique journey with different challenges, timelines, and opportunities. Stay grounded in your purpose and trust your path. Comparing yourself to others is a distraction from your true potential. Instead of looking outward, look inward. Reflect on your progress, align with your values, and take pride in your unique journey. As you step into 2025, commit to freeing yourself from the trap of comparison. Focus on your own growth, appreciate your blessings, and trust that you are exactly where you need to be. This is how you master the art of living with purpose and peace, the Stoic way. Lesson 5. Overcommitting. In a world that glorifies busyness, it's easy to fall into the trap of overcommitting. You say yes to everything, work projects, social obligations, and personal favors, until your schedule is overflowing, and you're left feeling overwhelmed and drained. But is this relentless pace really serving you? The Stoics would argue otherwise. Overcommitting often comes from a desire to please others, avoid conflict, or achieve more. It can feel like saying yes is the path to success or approval, but the reality is that spreading yourself too thin diminishes your effectiveness and robs you of peace. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "If you seek tranquility, do less." This doesn't mean abandoning responsibilities, but rather focusing only on what truly matters. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of intentionality, of aligning your actions with your values. When you overcommit, you lose control over your time and energy, making it impossible to prioritize what matters most. By learning to say no, you're not just rejecting unnecessary tasks, you're making space for what truly aligns with your goals and well-being. Steps to avoid overcommitting. 1. Identify your priorities. Take time to reflect on what truly matters to you. What are your core values? What are your long-term goals? Use these as a filter for deciding where to invest your time. If an opportunity doesn't align with these priorities, it's okay to decline. 2. Practice saying no gracefully. Saying no can feel uncomfortable, especially if you're worried about disappointing others. But remember, a polite and honest no is better than overpromising and under-delivering. You can say something like, "I'd love to help, but I don't have the bandwidth right now." People will respect your boundaries if you communicate them clearly. 3. Assess the opportunity cost. Every yes comes with a hidden no. When you commit to one thing, you're saying no to something else, often something important like rest, family time, or personal growth. Before agreeing to anything, ask yourself, what will I have to sacrifice to do this? 4. Set clear boundaries. Establish boundaries for your time and energy. Decide in advance how many commitments you're willing to take on each week or month. When your plate is full, stick to your limits, no matter how tempting new opportunities may seem. 5. Learn to delegate. You don't have to do everything yourself. Whether it's at work or in your personal life, identify tasks that can be delegated to others. Sharing responsibilities not only lightens your load, but also empowers those around you. Overcommitting isn't a sign of ambition or productivity. It's often a sign of losing sight of what truly matters. When you focus on fewer, more meaningful commitments, you can give your best effort and find greater fulfillment. Marcus Aurelius also wrote, "Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary?" This simple question can guide you in deciding where to invest your time and energy. By committing only to what aligns with your values, you'll create space for tranquility, growth, and success. As you approach 2025, make a conscious effort to simplify your commitments. Let go of the urge to say yes to everything and instead focus on what truly matters. This is how you reclaim your time, your energy, and your life, the Stoic way. Lesson 6. Toxic relationships. Relationships play a critical role in our lives. They have the power to uplift, inspire, and support us, but they can also drain, harm, and hold us back. Toxic relationships, whether with friends, family, colleagues, or partners, are among the greatest obstacles to personal growth. Stoicism offers timeless wisdom for navigating these situations and reclaiming your peace. Epictetus once said, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." Toxic relationships, by contrast, often do the opposite. They can fill your life with negativity, unnecessary conflict, and emotional turmoil. While it may feel difficult to address or walk away from such relationships, holding on to them can prevent you from living authentically and achieving your potential. Toxic relationships come in many forms. It could be a friend who constantly criticizes you, a family member who undermines your confidence, or a partner who manipulates and controls. These relationships may feel familiar, but familiarity doesn't mean they're healthy. Stoicism teaches us that our time and energy are limited resources, and we must spend them wisely. Steps to address toxic relationships. 1. Recognize the signs of toxicity. The first step is to identify whether a relationship is toxic. Does this person make you feel drained, anxious, or undervalued? Do they bring unnecessary conflict, drama, or negativity into your life? Reflect honestly on how the relationship affects your mental and emotional well-being. 2. Set boundaries. Boundaries are essential in any relationship, but especially in toxic ones. Communicate your limits clearly and assertively. For example, you might say, "I value our relationship, but I need us to focus on more positive and constructive conversations." Protecting your boundaries isn't selfish, it's self-respect. 3. Detach from their behavior. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is that we can't control others. We can only control our response to them. If someone is toxic, their behavior reflects their character, not yours. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Detach from their negativity and focus on your inner peace. 4. Limit or end contact. Sometimes the healthiest choice is to distance yourself from toxic people. This might mean reducing contact or, in extreme cases, cutting ties entirely. While this can be challenging, it's often necessary for your well-being. Surround yourself with people who support and inspire you. 5. Reflect on the lesson. Every relationship, even a toxic one, can teach you something valuable. Ask yourself, what have I learned from this experience? How can I grow from it? Use these lessons to cultivate healthier relationships in the future. Walking away from a toxic relationship doesn't mean you lack compassion. It means you value yourself. By removing toxic influences, you create space for relationships that are meaningful, supportive, and uplifting. As you move into 2025, take inventory of your relationships. Are they helping you grow or holding you back? Be brave enough to let go of those that no longer serve your peace and purpose. The Stoics teach us that life is too precious to waste on negativity. Choose connections that align with your values and watch how your world transforms for the better. Lesson 7. Dwelling on the past. The past is a powerful thing. It holds our memories, our lessons, and sometimes our regrets. While reflecting on the past can be useful, dwelling on it can become a prison. When we focus too much on what's already happened, we lose sight of the present moment and the opportunities it holds. Stoicism reminds us that the past is unchangeable, and our true power lies in how we live now. Marcus Aurelius said, "The past and future have no power over you, only the present." This simple yet profound teaching encourages us to stop pouring our energy into what we cannot control. The mistakes we made, the opportunities we missed, or the wrongs we suffered. These moments are done. They exist only in memory. What truly matters is how we respond to them today. Dwelling on the past often stems from regret, guilt, or resentment. Maybe you replay an embarrassing moment in your mind, wishing you could have acted differently. Or perhaps you're stuck reliving a hurtful experience, unable to move past the emotions it stirs. While these feelings are natural, clinging to them only deepens your suffering. Steps to let go of the past. 1. Accept what cannot be changed. The first step to letting go of the past is accepting that it's unchangeable. No matter how much you think about it, replay it, or wish it had gone differently, the past remains the same. As Epictetus taught, don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do, and you will go on well. Acceptance frees you from the struggle of fighting reality. 2. Extract the lesson. The past holds valuable lessons. Instead of fixating on what went wrong, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Every mistake, failure, or hardship offers an opportunity for growth. By focusing on the lesson, you turn a painful memory into a stepping stone for progress. 3. Focus on the present moment. The present is the only time you can take action. Redirect your thoughts from what happened to what you can do now. Mindfulness practices like deep breathing or journaling can help anchor you in the present. 4. Forgive yourself and others. Holding on to guilt or resentment ties you to the past. Forgiving doesn't mean condoning bad behavior. It means releasing the emotional burden. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they cannot tell good from evil." Let go of bitterness for your own peace. 5. Create new memories. The best way to move past the old is to create something new. Set goals, try new experiences, and build relationships that bring joy and fulfillment. The more you focus on the present and future, the less power the past will have over you. The Stoics teach us that the past is a story we tell ourselves, but it doesn't define us. What defines us is how we act today, in this moment. By letting go of the past, we free ourselves to live fully, with clarity and purpose. As you step into 2025, leave the past where it belongs, behind you. Accept its lessons, let go of its pain, and embrace the present as your greatest opportunity for growth and happiness. This is how we master life through Stoic wisdom. Lesson 8. Perfectionism. Perfectionism is often seen as a badge of honor, a sign of high standards and ambition. But beneath its polished exterior lies a trap, one that keeps you stuck in a cycle of self-doubt, procrastination, and dissatisfaction. Stoicism teaches us that perfection is an illusion, and that chasing it is not only futile, but also a barrier to living a fulfilling life. Perfectionism often stems from a fear of failure or judgment. You want everything to be flawless, hoping to avoid criticism or rejection. But in reality, perfectionism doesn't lead to excellence. it leads to paralysis. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Perfectionism focuses on the external, how others perceive you, rather than on what you can control, your effort, learning, and growth. When we strive for perfection, we set impossible standards for ourselves. We delay taking action, waiting for the perfect moment or result. But life is messy and unpredictable. The Stoics remind us that progress, not perfection, is what matters. As Seneca wisely said, "While we waste our time hesitating and postponing, life is slipping away." Steps to overcome perfectionism. 1. Redefine success. Shift your mindset from perfection to progress. Instead of asking, "Is this perfect?" ask, "Did I give my best effort?" Focus on improvement and learning rather than flawless results. Remember, growth happens in the process, not in achieving an ideal. 2. Embrace imperfection. Imperfection is a natural part of life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nothing happens to anyone that he is not fitted by nature to bear." This applies not only to external challenges, but also to your own imperfections. Accept them as part of your humanity and move forward with grace. 3. Take action without overthinking. Perfectionism often leads to overanalyzing and procrastination. To break this cycle, take small, deliberate steps toward your goal, even if the steps aren't perfect. Action creates momentum, and momentum builds confidence. 4. Focus on what you can control. You can't control every detail or predict every outcome. The Stoics teach us to focus on what's within our power, our effort, attitude, and response. Let go of what's outside your control, including other people's opinions or unpredictable outcomes. 5. Celebrate progress. Perfectionism robs you of the ability to appreciate how far you've come. Take time to acknowledge your achievements, no matter how small. Gratitude for your progress will keep you motivated and grounded. Perfectionism is a thief. It steals your time, your joy, and your confidence. The pursuit of perfection may seem noble, but it's an endless race with no finish line. True mastery lies in embracing imperfection and focusing on progress, effort, and growth. As you step into 2025, let go of the need to be perfect. Instead, strive to be better each day. Take action, learn from your mistakes, and celebrate your journey. Perfection isn't the goal. Living authentically and with purpose is. This is how you free yourself to grow and thrive. The Stoic way. Lesson 9. Procrastination. Procrastination is the quiet thief of time. It sneaks into our lives under the guise of, "I'll do it later," or "I need the perfect moment," robbing us of opportunities and progress. While it's easy to brush off as harmless, procrastination accumulates into regret and lost potential. The Stoics offer us profound guidance to break free from its grip and take meaningful action today. Seneca warned us, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Procrastination isn't just about delaying tasks. It's about postponing the life you're meant to live. Each moment spent avoiding action is a moment you can never get back. And yet, many of us find comfort in delaying the uncomfortable, the challenging, or the uncertain. The roots of procrastination often lie in fear. Fear of failure, fear of imperfection, or fear of discomfort. But as the Stoics teach us, courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the ability to act despite it. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This isn't a morbid thought. It's a call to action. Life is fleeting, and the perfect moment you're waiting for may never arrive. Steps to overcome procrastination. 1. Recognize the cost of delay. Procrastination feels harmless in the moment, but its long-term cost is steep. Ask yourself, what will I lose if I keep putting this off? Reflecting on the impact of your delay on your goals, your growth, or your peace of mind can motivate you to take action. 2. Start small. Procrastination often stems from feeling overwhelmed. Break tasks into smaller, manageable steps and focus on starting, not finishing. Seneca advised, "Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life." Each small action builds momentum toward your goal. 3. Focus on what you can control. Perfectionism often fuels procrastination, as we fear not getting things exactly right. Shift your focus to effort and progress, not perfect outcomes. The Stoics teach us to control what we can and accept what we cannot. 4. Set deadlines and prioritize. Create clear deadlines for your tasks and prioritize them based on importance, not urgency. Use tools like lists or schedules to hold yourself accountable. Remember, saying yes to procrastination is saying no to your goals. 5. Embrace discomfort. Action often requires stepping into discomfort, whether it's tackling a tough project, making a decision, or starting a difficult conversation. Remind yourself that growth lies outside your comfort zone. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Procrastination isn't just about avoiding tasks, it's about avoiding the life you're capable of living. The more you delay, the further you drift from your goals and your purpose. The Stoics urge us to live with intention, to act boldly, and to seize the present moment as our most valuable resource. As you move into 2025, make the decision to overcome procrastination. Start small, act consistently, and trust in the process. Each step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to the life you envision. This is how you reclaim your time, your potential, and your future, the Stoic way. Lesson 10. Clutter. Clutter comes in many forms: physical, mental, and emotional. It's the unnecessary baggage we accumulate over time that fills our spaces, overwhelms our minds, and distracts us from what truly matters. The Stoics teach us that simplicity is the path to clarity and freedom. By clearing away clutter, we create room for growth, peace, and purpose. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." Yet, in our modern world, we are constantly bombarded with things to buy, tasks to complete, and information to absorb. The result? A life overflowing with distractions that pull us away from our goals and values. Clutter, whether physical or mental, is not just inconvenient, it's a barrier to living fully. Physical clutter, like an untidy workspace or an overflowing closet, creates stress and reduces productivity. Mental clutter, endless to-do lists, unresolved worries, or scattered thoughts, clouds our focus and drains our energy. Emotional clutter, such as unresolved conflicts or lingering grudges, weighs on our hearts and minds, keeping us from moving forward. The good news? You have the power to declutter your life, step by step. Steps to declutter your life. 1. Start with physical spaces. Your environment has a profound impact on your mindset. Begin by decluttering your physical space. Ask yourself, do I use this? Does it bring me joy? Does it align with my current life? Let go of items that no longer serve you. Create a space that is organized and peaceful, a reflection of the clarity you seek within. 2. Simplify your schedule. Mental clutter often stems from overcommitment. Review your responsibilities and eliminate tasks or obligations that don't align with your values or priorities. As Seneca advised, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Focus on what truly matters. 3. Resolve emotional baggage. Lingering conflicts and unresolved feelings are forms of clutter that weigh on your emotional well-being. Take steps to address these, whether through honest conversations, forgiveness, or journaling. Free yourself from emotional burdens to create space for peace and growth. 4. Practice mindfulness. Mental clutter often arises from a scattered mind. Incorporate mindfulness practices into your daily routine, such as meditation or deep breathing. These techniques help you stay present, organize your thoughts, and reduce overwhelm. 5. Adopt a minimalist mindset. Decluttering isn't a one-time event, it's a mindset. Learn to appreciate the value of simplicity and resist the urge to accumulate unnecessary possessions or commitments. As Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Clutter in any form is a distraction from the life you want to live. By letting go of the unnecessary, you create space for what truly matters: your goals, your passions, and your inner peace. The Stoics remind us that a simple life is not an empty life. It's a focused and meaningful one. Lesson 11. Seeking external validation. At some point, we've all sought validation from others, approval from friends, praise from colleagues, or recognition from society. It feels good in the moment, like a boost to our self-esteem. But when external validation becomes a driving force in our lives, it can trap us in a cycle of dependency, insecurity, and dissatisfaction. Stoicism teaches us to break free from this cycle by finding strength and worth within ourselves. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." This isn't an invitation to seek ridicule, but a reminder that living authentically often means going against others' expectations. When we prioritize external validation, we hand over control of our happiness to others. We become more concerned with how we're perceived than with staying true to our values and goals. External validation is fleeting. The praise you seek today may not come tomorrow, leaving you chasing an ever-moving target. Worse, when you base your self-worth on others' opinions, you risk compromising your integrity to please them. The Stoics remind us that our worth isn't determined by others. It comes from living virtuously, staying true to our principles, and focusing on what we can control. Steps to overcome the need for external validation. 1. Define your own values. The foundation of self-worth lies in understanding your own values. What matters most to you? What kind of person do you want to be? When your actions align with your values, you'll find confidence and satisfaction that no external approval can replace. 2. Detach from others' opinions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Reflect on this. Why should the opinions of others dictate your happiness? Focus on what you think of yourself and whether you're proud of your choices. 3. Focus on effort, not recognition. Rather than seeking applause, focus on the effort and intention behind your actions. Did you give your best? Did you act with integrity? These questions matter far more than whether others noticed or approved. 4. Practice self-validation. Learn to affirm yourself. Celebrate your successes, big or small, and recognize your growth. Journaling can be a powerful tool for self-reflection, helping you acknowledge your achievements without needing external praise. 5. Embrace authenticity. Living authentically means staying true to who you are, even if it means facing criticism or standing out. The Stoics remind us that we can't please everyone, and we shouldn't try to. Authenticity brings a deeper sense of fulfillment than approval ever could. When you let go of the need for external validation, you reclaim your power. You stop seeking approval and start living for yourself, guided by your values and purpose. This isn't about ignoring others completely, but about prioritizing your inner compass over the fleeting opinions of the crowd. As you enter 2025, make a commitment to seek validation from within. Focus on living virtuously, staying true to your principles, and finding joy in your own progress. The Stoics teach us that true confidence comes from within, not from the applause of others. This is how you build a life of strength, resilience, and authenticity, the Stoic way. Lesson 12. Worrying about the future. The future can feel like an uncertain and daunting horizon. It's natural to wonder what's coming next, whether you'll succeed, and how you'll handle challenges yet to come. But when this wonder turns into constant worry, it robs you of peace in the present. Stoicism teaches us that worrying about the future is not only unproductive but also unnecessary. Instead, we are reminded to focus on the here and now, where our true power lies. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason, which today arm you against the present." This timeless wisdom tells us that the strength and resilience we cultivate today will be enough to handle whatever the future brings. Worrying about what hasn't happened yet only drains the energy you need to live fully in the present. At its core, worrying about the future is an attempt to control the uncontrollable. We can't predict or change what lies ahead, but we can prepare ourselves mentally and emotionally to face it. The Stoics emphasize that what happens in the future is external and beyond our control. What we can control, however, is how we respond to the challenges and opportunities that come our way. Steps to stop worrying about the future. 1. Focus on what you can control. The Stoics teach that our energy should be spent on things within our control. Instead of worrying about whether something will go wrong, focus on what you can do today to prepare. Planning is productive, worrying is not. 2. Live in the present moment. Worry pulls you away from the present where your true power resides. Practice mindfulness by bringing your attention to the here and now, whether it's through deep breathing, journaling, or simply appreciating your surroundings. Grounding yourself in the moment helps reduce anxiety about the future. 3. Trust in your resilience. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you already have the tools to face whatever comes your way. Reflect on past challenges you've overcome and the strength you've gained from them. This builds confidence that you can handle future obstacles as well. 4. Practice negative visualization. A Stoic practice, negative visualization, involves imagining possible difficulties and preparing yourself mentally for them. This isn't about dwelling on worst-case scenarios, but about becoming familiar with them so that if they occur, they don't catch you off guard. 5. Let go of perfection. Often, worry stems from a desire for things to go perfectly. Accepting that life is unpredictable and that imperfection is part of the journey can help you let go of unnecessary anxiety. Focus on progress, not perfection. By worrying about the future, you're borrowing trouble that might never come. Instead, focus on living fully in the present, where you can take action and cultivate the strength you'll need to face tomorrow. The Stoics teach us that life happens one moment at a time, and we are always equipped to handle the next step. Leave your worries about the future behind. Trust in your ability to navigate life's uncertainties and redirect your energy toward the things you can control. Lesson 13. Overindulgence. In a world of abundance, it's easy to fall into the trap of overindulgence. Whether it's food, entertainment, material possessions, or even work, excess often feels like a reward for our hard work or a way to cope with stress. But overindulgence rarely brings the satisfaction we seek. Instead, it often leads to imbalance, regret, and even harm. Stoicism teaches us the value of moderation and self-control, reminding us that true happiness lies in balance, not excess. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Overindulgence represents a loss of mastery, a surrender to impulses rather than a deliberate choice aligned with our values and long-term well-being. While it's natural to enjoy life's pleasures, the Stoics caution us against letting these pleasures control us. They believed that discipline and moderation are the keys to living a fulfilling and meaningful life. Overindulgence often stems from the desire to escape discomfort or fill a void. We eat too much, binge-watch shows, or shop impulsively to distract ourselves from stress, boredom, or unresolved emotions. But these temporary fixes rarely address the root of our discomfort. Instead, they can leave us feeling more empty and dissatisfied than before. Steps to overcome overindulgence. 1. Practice awareness. The first step to overcoming overindulgence is recognizing it. Pay attention to your habits and identify areas where you tend to overindulge. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I truly want to, or am I avoiding something else? Awareness is the foundation for change. 2. Embrace moderation. The Stoics believed in enjoying life's pleasures in moderation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You don't need much to live happily." Instead of denying yourself entirely, focus on enjoying things in a balanced way. For example, savor a single piece of chocolate rather than consuming an entire bar. 3. Set boundaries and limits. Establish clear boundaries for yourself to prevent excess. For instance, limit screen time, create a budget for spending, or adopt mindful eating practices. Setting limits not only curbs overindulgence, but also helps you appreciate what you have. 4. Cultivate gratitude. Overindulgence often stems from a sense of lack or dissatisfaction. Gratitude shifts your focus to what you already have, reducing the urge to seek more. Reflect daily on the things you're grateful for, whether it's your health, relationships, or simple joys. 5. Find healthy alternatives. When you notice the urge to overindulge, redirect your energy toward healthier habits. Replace stress eating with exercise, binge watching with reading or journaling, and impulsive shopping with mindful reflection. These alternatives not only curb overindulgence but also contribute to your growth and well-being. The Stoics remind us that freedom lies in self-mastery. Overindulgence may feel liberating in the moment, but it ultimately enslaves us to our impulses. True satisfaction comes not from excess, but from living intentionally, aligned with our values and priorities. In 2025, reflect on areas where overindulgence may be holding you back. Commit to moderation, gratitude, and discipline. By mastering your impulses and focusing on what truly matters, you'll create a life of balance, fulfillment, and freedom. The Stoic Way. Lesson 14. Complaining. Complaining is one of the easiest habits to fall into. It's a reflexive response to challenges, frustrations, or things not going our way. While venting may feel like a release in the moment, it rarely solves the problem, and often reinforces a negative mindset. Stoicism teaches us that complaining is not only unproductive, but also a barrier to personal growth and resilience. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." This means that instead of talking about how things should be, we should act in alignment with our values, even in the face of adversity. Complaining focuses on what's wrong, while Stoicism focuses on what can be done. It shifts the mindset from blame to responsibility, from weakness to strength. Complaining often arises from two sources: a desire for sympathy and a resistance to reality. When we complain, we're often seeking validation for our struggles, hoping others will acknowledge our difficulties. While this may bring temporary comfort, it doesn't change the situation. Resistance to reality, the belief that things should be different than they are, is another root of complaining. The Stoics remind us that much of life is beyond our control. Instead of lamenting what we cannot change, we should focus on our response to it. Steps to overcome complaining. 1. Recognize the habit. The first step to breaking the habit of complaining is awareness. Pay attention to when and why you complain. Are you venting frustration, seeking attention? Identifying these patterns helps you address the root cause. 2. Reframe the situation. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, look for what you can learn or how you can grow. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Every challenge is an opportunity to build resilience and wisdom. 3. Focus on solutions. Complaining rarely fixes problems. Shift your energy toward finding solutions. If something bothers you, ask yourself, What can I do to improve this? Even small steps toward resolution are more empowering than dwelling on the issue. 4. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to complaining. When you focus on what's good in your life, the urge to complain diminishes. Make it a habit to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for each day, no matter how small. 5. Accept what you can't control. Many complaints stem from trying to change the unchangeable. The Stoics teach us to accept what is beyond our control and focus on what we can influence. This mindset reduces frustration and fosters inner peace. Complaining is a habit that reinforces negativity, but it's a habit you can break. By shifting your focus to solutions, gratitude, and acceptance, you transform challenges into opportunities for growth. The Stoics remind us that our power lies not in changing external circumstances, but in mastering our internal responses. Lesson 15. Ignoring your inner self. In the noise and chaos of daily life, it's easy to lose touch with the most important part of yourself, your inner self. We spend so much time focusing on external achievements, relationships, and responsibilities that we often neglect the quiet voice within. Stoicism teaches us that true peace, clarity, and fulfillment come not from external pursuits, but from nurturing and understanding our inner world. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." This powerful idea reminds us that no matter how hectic or challenging life becomes, we can always find refuge within ourselves. But this requires effort, an intentional commitment to self-reflection, mindfulness, and inner growth. Ignoring your inner self can lead to a sense of disconnection, stress, and even burnout. When you don't take time to check in with yourself, you might find that your actions no longer align with your values or that you're pursuing goals that don't truly fulfill you. By reconnecting with your inner self, you regain a sense of purpose and clarity, enabling you to navigate life with greater wisdom and resilience. Steps to reconnect with your inner self. 1. Make time for reflection. The Stoics believed in the power of daily reflection. At the end of each day, ask yourself, what did I do well? Where did I fall short? How can I improve tomorrow? Journaling these reflections helps you gain insight into your thoughts, actions, and motivations, fostering self-awareness and growth. 2. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, free from judgment or distraction. Whether through meditation, deep breathing, or simply observing your thoughts, mindfulness helps you quiet the external noise and connect with your inner self. 3. Align your actions with your values. Often, the disconnect we feel comes from living in a way that doesn't reflect our core values. Take time to identify what matters most to you, and make conscious choices that align with those principles. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." 4. Listen to your intuition. Your inner self often communicates through intuition, a subtle feeling or instinct that guides you. Learn to trust this voice by pausing to reflect before making decisions. Ask yourself, does this feel right? Does this align with my values? 5. Protect your inner peace. Just as you declutter your physical space, declutter your mind by letting go of distractions, negativity, and unnecessary commitments. Prioritize activities that nurture your soul, such as spending time in nature, reading, or engaging in creative pursuits. Reconnecting with your inner self isn't a luxury. It's a necessity for living a balanced, meaningful life. The Stoics remind us that while we can't control the outside world, we can cultivate a rich and peaceful inner life. This is where true strength and wisdom reside. As we reach the end of this journey through the 15 lessons of Stoic wisdom, it's time to reflect on the path forward. Each of these lessons, from overcoming fear and letting go of grudges to embracing simplicity and reconnecting with your inner self, provides a compass to navigate the challenges of life. Stoicism is not just a philosophy, it's a practical guide to living with clarity, purpose, and resilience. These lessons remind us of a simple truth. We can't control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond. And in mastering our responses, we master ourselves. The new year, 2025, is an opportunity to shed what no longer serves you and embrace what brings you peace, growth, and fulfillment. Let this be the year you align your actions with your values, live intentionally, and find strength in simplicity. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." These words are a call to action, not to just think about these lessons, but to live them. The real transformation happens when you take these principles and apply them to your daily life. Which of these lessons resonated with you the most? Perhaps it's letting go of perfectionism, or maybe it's breaking free from procrastination. Whatever it is, start small. Take one step today to implement that change, and watch how your life begins to shift. If you found value in this video, don't forget to give it a like. It helps us reach more people who are on their own journey of self-improvement. And if you're ready to dive deeper into Stoic wisdom and practical self-mastery, make sure to subscribe to Stoic Mastery. By subscribing, you'll join a community of like-minded individuals committed to growth, resilience, and living with purpose. Remember, every day is an opportunity to practice these principles. The Stoic way isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about showing up, doing the work, and becoming a little better than you were yesterday. Together, let's make 2025 a year of transformation, clarity, and peace. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, live virtuously, stay resilient, and continue your journey toward mastering the art of life, the Stoic way.